All right, what's going on, y'all? We got some breaking news tonight. A little bit of an impromptu live, but we got some breaking news tonight, man. We gotta talk about as far as the future of the Atlanta Falcons. But first and foremost, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share out all the content. Um, and also, man, donate to the Cash App. You feel so generous to do so, man. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, but yeah, that Cash App, and especially, man, share the content out. Share the content out. Want to get the content out there, man. As listen, with the type of off season that this could be for the Atlanta Falcons, it's going to be a lot to talk about. But I want to talk about a report that um, has surfaced. Really, I think the first time I saw it surface was yesterday. Um, but especially in the last couple hours, it has surfaced as it is being reported that the um, Atlanta Falcons and Arthur Blank are bringing in some consulting, have hired a firm to apparently assist them in the wellness of the Atlanta Falcons and the wellness of the organization and how they feel the organization is being ran from the outside perspective. So, um, definitely a conversation I want to have tonight. Um, So, yeah, man, it's definitely going to be, very important here because it looked like that Raheem Morris, he may have a chance to save his job here winning these two straight games against the Buccaneers and then against the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. And there's still two games left, and I want to make that also very clear. There's still two games left for Raheem Morris, and Terry Fontenot also seems to be included in this conversation for both of them to potentially save their jobs. Um, but I think that it's very important to consider that you don't see this happen a whole lot in terms of an owner bringing in outside consulting. Maybe it does happen, but I I don't think it happens a whole lot. You don't hear about it a whole lot in terms of an owner bringing in a consulting firm to help them assess with the essentially doing a wellness check on where the team currently stands. You see it a lot when teams are actually going through the process of hiring a new head coach and general manager, but you don't see a whole lot an owner bring in a consulting firm to essentially assess the job that the head coach and the general manager have done. At least it's not made public. So I mean, the fact that Arthur Blank is having to do this, I mean, maybe potentially shows that Arthur Blank maybe even knows he hasn't been running the Atlanta Falcons as well as they should have been ran. It's also very possible that with a new generation of ownership stepping into the spotlight and Josh Blank, he could potentially also be behind this potential consulting that has been brought in. But I want to read this report that was written up from Sports Talk ATL, and it states that NFL insider James Palmer reported yesterday that there is a growing belief around the league that the Falcons will not be standing pat with their current head coach and general manager, noting that everything inside the building is being evaluated. Adding even more context to the situation, Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated reports that Arthur Blank has brought in an outside firm, Sportsology, to perform a quote health check on the organization. Goes on to state that owner Arthur Blank's group has brought the consulting from Sportology, with whom they've partnered with for a while, in to work with them on the Falcons as well as the MLS Atlanta United and the new NWSL expansion team he was rewarded. They've worked with Blank on building the NWSL club for a little while, Breer writes. For the Falcons specifically, it is an overall health check on the team's operation, and it's not been a secret within the walls of the football facility that the evaluation is ongoing. Breer also agreed with Palmer in that there is plenty of buzz regarding potential changes in Atlanta. Time will tell what this means for general manager Terry Fontenot and coach Raheem Morris, but there's plenty of buzz that some level of change is coming, with the team at 6-9, assured its eighth consecutive losing season under 500 and not making the playoffs. So yeah, tell me what y'all think about that. What do y'all make of that?
Hey man, how you doing?
What's up, OG?
Hey man, I'm 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 kind of on the fence with that consultant thing. Um, I think it's more of an assessment on the marketing side. You know how is the um where the team is and how's it going to affect the team? If they do a couple of things. Now I do think this firm is going to break it down to pretty much every scenario in every category. And but the good thing about it is, these guys are not, or this organization is not going to be influenced by a lot of the things that are factors in how we have got here. Be it um, upper management, people running the offices, and none of that. I don't think none of that's going to be a factor. So that's the good side of it. But I don't know how much I would take from where I'm sitting that these guys are going to know what's best
Well,
overall.
let me ask you a question, okay? Because I hear what you're saying, but listen, it's not like we haven't seen the Falcons do. We haven't seen the script as far as how a season goes with the Atlanta Falcons in the past. We saw it a lot at the end of Dan Quinn's time, where the team would start off rough, and then once they're out of the playoffs, they decide to start going on a little winning streak to end the year, and that saves Dan Quinn's job. Do you think that potentially, and we've heard a lot about how patient Arthur Blank likes to be. Do you think potentially the Falcons and the pressure around firing, particularly Raheem, do you think Mr. Blank started to actually hear some of that?
Oh, of course. But here's the thing: it's kind of like you taking your car to the shop, and the mechanic tells you that your engine is shot. He's telling you where you're at with your vehicle, but Now you have other issues. You got to get another vehicle. Um, what kind of vehicle you're gonna get? How you gonna get around until you get that vehicle? Little things like that. So even if they come to him and say, "Hey, man, you might need to just start over," then is he gonna? Are they gonna be on retainer or whatever it is to help him to get these coaches or whatever advice that they tell them that they need to handle? Are they gonna also offer a solution?
Well, I mean, the reason why. So you're talking about in terms of the firm. I mean, I don't know why you bring them other than for them not to offer. I mean, they're a consultant. It says it in the name. So I don't think there would be another reason they're bringing them up in other than to offer their advice. Now, there's a couple of things interesting about. First of all, I looked up the Sportology. They're based out of New York. Apparently, Mr. Blank has deep rooted connections to this firm. So it ain't like he's bringing in a completely fresh set of minds to the conversation. People that he's never heard from. He's bringing in people who have consulted him in the past, and they've also consulted him with the United. They're consulting him with this new soccer team. They've consulted him in the past with the Falcons because I believe when we hired Dan Quinn, it was a firm that was leading that search. I don't think it was Thomas Dimitrov or Rich McKay. So, I mean, the thing I'm thinking about is, like, at the end of the day, these are not, well, yes, it's not faces that you hear from all the time. And sure, man, there could be turnovers at these firms and all that. But they're still going to, at the end of the day, tell, they're going to tell Mr. Blank, probably considering the deep connections, they ain't going to probably tell him the God honest truth, like I would hope they would.
Okay, so that's what I'm
But
saying.
hold on now, hold on, because this is, you got to remember, man. Raheem Morris and Arthur Blank are very they have a deep rooted relationship with each other. There's a lot of respect between those two. So the thing is this actually Arthur Blank being finally semblance of an NFL owner, putting his foot down and wanting to do better because he knows at this point that for the first time in a very long time, the Atlanta Falcons fan base is in free fall. There's a lot of people that are talking about canceling their season tickets. They're talking about they're going to sell their tickets. They're talking about, you got to remember, there's a report the Falcons are supposed to get new uniforms this offseason. You know they're going to want to sell those new uniforms. People that are saying they're not going to buy jerseys. People who are saying they're not even going to rep the team anymore. Now, I've talked about already what it actually means to rep your team. But still, man, when you have those types of looks, and everyone knows what I did a couple weeks ago when I was down there with the paper bag on my head. So when you put that type of pressure and see, when I read this report, man, I kind of, on one hand, I want to feel satisfied that I want to feel like my work has gotten somewhere to actually having them consider changes and maybe it finally seeming like even if they rattle off some meaningless wins at the end of the year, it ain't going to be enough to impress Mr. Blank. But at the same time, man, what if this is just Arthur Blank knowing that he's got to make it good with the fans, and he's going to come out, he's going to say, we brought this firm in, and they came to the conclusion that how our football operation is being ran it can still produce results for us. If we just give them a little bit more time, results could finally come. So who's to say that this really isn't just um, a masqueration effort by Arthur Blank to make it seem like he's evaluating a change? Because Arthur Blank can't make the change himself. He can't. He don't know jack shit about football in terms of what he actually needs to know um, to take the reins by himself. That's why he's always kind of had Rich McKay beside him. And I guarantee that Rich McKay is still probably involved. And see, that's the thing, man. As long as Rich McKay is involved, we can never be guaranteed that things are actually going to change.
Right.
So, the thing I'm looking at, and I think this is very important, and we're going to see at the end of the year, even if they come out and they finish this season with 7 or 8 wins, they got 6 right now. Even if they win their final 2 games. Now, I would assume that if they find a way to beat the Rams on Monday, that'll probably save Raheem's job. He's probably going to tell that firm to get the fuck on its way, that he has his decision made, and Raheem's done enough to buy himself an extra year. If he
Then he should have
loses,
waited.
if he loses to the Rams and he beats the Saints, that's going to be very interesting because that's probably the most likely outcome at this point. I think Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua are going to lie us the fuck up. But okay, let's say we beat New Orleans the last week of the year. Then what? Because, I mean, it'll be the... Listen, sweeping the Saints is a big deal, man. It's a very big deal. And it'll be the first time we swept the Saints since the year we went to the Super Bowl. So, is that going to be enough to maybe keep Raheem around? Who knows? But we're going to find out at the end of the year, especially if the Falcons, especially if this team ends the year poorly. Because, man, let's stop it down for what it is. These last 2 wins the Falcons have gotten have not been impressive wins. They haven't. They beat a Tampa team that essentially the sky was falling. The sky is falling for them. And I'm going to be honest, man. It's always said that football is a team sport. Man, that Tampa game, that wasn't won by the team. That was won by 2-3 players. That was won by Kirk, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan's always going out there and giving his best every week. So I'll throw him in there. Those were the 3 players that won us that Tampa game. Against Arizona, man, they are one of the worst, of maybe the worst team in all of football. There's nothing impressive about beating the Cardinals. And mind you, they didn't even beat the Cardinals that impressive. Beating the Cardinals impressed. There really ain't a way to beat Arizona impressive. But impressing for where the Falcons would have been going down there and beating the Cardinals by 20 plus points.
Right.
That would have they struggled to beat Arizona. Hell, gave them an opportunity to go tie the game in the end. But Henderson was able to make that solid play. There was nothing impressive about these last 2 wins. So now you got a Rams team coming in here on Monday night. They're going to be pissed off. They're kind of in no man's land. They've lost their opportunity to win their division. They're stuck playing in the wild card. So, they're going to be very pissed off going up against this Falcons team. And then, man, on top of that, the Saints ain't playing. The Saints ain't playing bad. Tyler Shuck's playing some solid football right now.
Right.
So, listen, these last 2 games are obviously very big for Raheem, but and Terry too, because as I've said, if you end up firing Raheem, it's going to be very hard for me to see them letting Terry see a third head coach. It's going to be very hard to actually see that happen. And notice, Terry's under evaluation as well. So, the way I see it is it's sounding like what we want to hear at this point. But is it just that? Or is there more to it? Are they just kind of... Or is Mr. Blank, he knows what time of year it is, He knows where 2 days before Christmas, and he's just trying to give the Falcons fans a little bit of Christmas hope since we know we ain't going to no playoffs. See, last year we were in the playoff mix. This year we don't got anything to look forward to, but potentially everyone getting fired at the end of the year and them changing some things up. Another thing, if you look at our schedule for next year, man, I see maybe about 4 wins on that. I see about maybe 4 or 5 wins on that schedule. Probably five at max. So now that's with Raheem here. With another coach, I really don't know because I probably really won't know. Next year probably is not going to be um, a good year for this team. At least heading into it, it doesn't look like it's going to be. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. We got a lot of free agency decisions to make. We might have to pay Drake London this offseason, but there's a very big silver lining in that if you can at least get a new head coach in here, you can start to build something for after next year. So, man, what I think Mr. Blank, I think he knows that there's pressure on him, but at the end of the day, is he just kind of giving us just what we want, and then come after the first of the year and the final week of the year, he's gonna end up just scooping the rug from up under us, and he'll say, yeah, they get in another year. And he's gonna piss a lot of people off doing that. So is this genuine or is this just for show?
Man, I'm all over the place with this because um, a lot of the stuff you said are some good possibilities. Now, if he's bringing these guys in and these games matter, if Raheem wins or lose, win versus loses, then he might as well have waited to the off season before he brought in this
Well, you,
consulting
you
firm.
see, man, look, they got to make a decision on what they're going to do with the coach. Um, they got to make that decision on Black Monday. If you gonna fire a coach, you can't wait until a couple weeks in the off season to make that decision. That's a decision you got to essentially have made in your mind at the end of the regular season when your
Okay, you got a
last game
point there.
ends.
You got a point there.
So yeah, they kind of have to do the evaluation right now.
Okay.
I said I probably Mr. Blank probably don't know verbatim how a football organization is ran, but you like to think he knows at least enough to the point where a win against a helpless Arizona team and a Tampa team that they're also talking about firing their coach at the end of the year. You would think that really ain't gonna impress him that much.
Well, obviously it didn't. If he brought in this consulting team after that win, when he got back, he probably said, "Come on, meet me in Atlanta, and we're gonna move forward." And really, it wasn't an impressive win. It was pretty much a close game. We came back from 10 down, but look at what they got. So I, I can only imagine, boy, Raheem probably feeling some type of way now. But the only thing he has to do is go out and just do his best, win, man. Try to um salvage this season out.
Well, hold on. Here's one more, and it kind of goes back into what I say. Are they kind of just gonna? Is this maybe just kind of a little, you know, maybe them bringing this firm in? Could this also just be kind of him giving Raheem a little bit of that nudge, still saying, "Hey, don't get complacent now. You got a very big game against the Rams coming up, and and,
Yeah,
and if
and
and if you win that, maybe we'll talk."
well, and another thing too, I don't want him to use this move right here as like a scapegoat type thing. Say, well, it wasn't just my decision or the board's decision. It was the consulting firm giving us these this. the
Yeah.
best way to
No,
salvage this thing,
he's trying to
to
cover
not
himself from
angry
all angles.
the fans.
Listen, he's trying to cover himself from all angles because he understands that even if we win the final two games, if we bring Raheem back for another year, it's going to anger a lot of people. He understands that
Right.
because you win the last two games, you are exactly what you were at the end of last season. You're 8-9. If you win one of the last two games, you're 7-10. You lose your last two, you're 6-11. If he loses the last two games, it sounds like he's gone. He wins one, it's probably a very hard thinking. It's going to be a very hard decision. He wins two, he's probably going to stay. That's what it sounds like. But I want to read off some of these comments. Let's see. This is who is this? This is Chosen 186. It's not looking good for Terry and Raheem now. They beat a terrible Arizona team. That's not enough. I think change is inevitable. They're not beating the Rams. I'm confident in that. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I would like to think that change is inevitable, but still, I can't say for certain that it is.
Yeah, bringing a consultant in is definitely more heating that seat up for more people,
Yeah.
including Terry.
Well, man, listen, I think, see, the thing with Terry, man, I think all Terry can do at this point is just plead his case.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all
yeah.
Terry can do.
That's all he can do,
Raheem
man.
had,
Say, look,
and I guess Terry essentially pleads his case through Raheem. Because, man, Raheem's the coach of the team, he's out on the sideline. Because, man, he's visible. Terry really isn't that visible. Your GM isn't visible much in the regular season. All Terry can really do outside of what Raheem and that team shows on the field is just sit up in there with Mr. Blank and plead his case.
yep. And the biggest plea he can make is to win Monday night.
Yeah, man. That's really the only um thing that Terry can do is he can sit up in that box with Mr. Blank and he can plead his case. That's really all he has, man.
Yep. Say my first round draft picks are winning out. I mean, are paying off. You got a 2,000 yarder. Maybe Kyle Pitts will get 1,000. I don't know about Drake. Um, you just everything in your defense definitely is paying off. From my draft.
That's what you're gonna have to do. But then they gonna look. But then I mean, listen, this is a results league. You can have all the stats in the day, but if you don't got those wins, you ain't hosting them home playoff games. That really don't matter, man. All that other stuff don't matter. It don't matter how many awards you get. Don't matter if Pierce wins Rookie of the Year. None of that shit is really matters. It becomes irrelevant when you still lose these games, man. That's what.
Even for a GM.
Listen, Terry's on a second head coach.
Okay.
Name me a GM who has seen 3 head coaches in 6 seasons. You can't name me one.
It's been it's
Nah, there ain't
it's
one.
not normal.
You can't name me one.
Right.
That's why, man, Terry's case is essentially at this point in the hands of Raheem and that team, and how they come out and play these last 2 games. No matter how good his draft pick, and listen, I don't think Terry's done a bad job. I've said that, but I also think that you got to look at it from the perspective of results. And under Terry, there ain't been results. There's been some good things happen in the offseason. There's been some exciting moments, but there's never truly been the results. And man, I see some of y'all are up in here. Make sure you hit that link and come on. Share the content out, man. Share it out. Join the conversation.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button. Donate to the Cash App. But see, man, what I don't think they understand is that this is what it really makes it tough when you get a team that, because at the end of the day, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. You know Raheem is making it tougher for them when he comes out and does this at the end of the season. But we've also seen, the good thing for us is we've seen what this type of behavior results in the end. Because we saw it with Dan Quinn. Because remember when he finished that season 6-2? He came out the next season and he didn't even win a game before he got fired. So, man, you would hope that Arthur Blank's learned from that, and maybe he has. And if he has, then good for him. But see, now, man, that's only step one of the equation. Getting the problem out, man. Matter of fact, that's just what you do to get to a new equation. Because now, you got to go find a new GM. Then you got to find a new head coach.
And that's not an easy task, man.
And let me tell you something. There's some interesting head coaching candidates out here that I'm doing research on. I'm looking at. And if a move is made at the end of the year with Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot and they are fired, I will be doing research videos on both head coaching and general manager candidates. It's going to be a wide search. I might like them, I might not like them. Y'all might like them, y'all might not like them. But still going to look at them because there's a chance that they could end up being the next head coach or general manager.
Or at least get interviewed.
At least get interviewed. I think at the end of the day, it's about results and expectations, not how many meaningless wins you rack up. Yeah, man. Yeah. Because listen, once you're eliminated from the playoffs, your season's over. This season is over. This is another wasted season. And when I tell you that all these wasted seasons, this is why you got people talking about canceling season tickets. Not wanting to come to games. This is why you have that type of mentality around the team right now. Because you can't get it done. And it's a problem. It's becoming a serious problem. So, man, listen, there is not a selling point that this team, I don't care if they win their last 2 games or not, you probably ain't going to be able to sell much of anything with Raheem coming back another year. You ain't going to be able to sell it. And, however, this next coach, I think it's very important that we recognize, man, this next coach is going to have one hell of a job, and probably this next GM too. They're going to have to come in here, and they're going to have to make a lot of big decisions, because this team's at a real crossroads right now. And they were always going to be at this crossroads. Let's make it very clear. See, man, that is why the Falcons really fucked themselves over. Because their window closed with this roster before it ever even opened. You had Drake on his rookie deal, Bijan on his rookie deal, Pitts on his rookie deal. You had Tyler Algier on his rookie deal. All these guys, man, on their rookie deals. And you ain't done jack squat with it. So now, And listen, I get the salary cap is going up, but as the salary cap goes up, these contracts also go up. So now you got to make a tough decision. Are you going to let one of the faces of your team and Drake London walk out the door? No, you can't. Are you going to let Bijan walk out the door? No, you can't. But see, that's what makes it tougher. Oh, and before all that, you got to figure out who the hell your quarterback is going to be.
Right.
Because, man, I don't know what the timeline is on Michael Penix. I haven't heard anything out of Michael Penix ever since we heard that he got surgery, outside of him liking and commenting on the post that Ray made a couple weeks ago. That's the most I've heard out of Michael Penix.
Have you heard anything about Mahomes?
Oh, Mahomes is back in the facility.
That's my point.
Mahomes is back in the facility already rehabbing around the team. Man, Penix, and see, this is the thing. If this is going to be your franchise quarterback, you need to have him around that team. You need to have him in the building. You need to have him talking to those guys, communicating, going over film. Because, see, just because he can't get on that football room, don't mean he can't be in that film room. Just because he can't get on that football field, it don't mean he can't be in that film room. Building chemistry. Chemistry ain't just built on the football field. It's built in how you communicate with each other and the time you spend together. The only real guy that Michael Penix actually had that with, it looked like, was Drake London, and maybe sometimes Kyle Pitts, but it was never really consistent. He didn't have it with Darnell Mooney. And that's probably a lot of the reason why Darnell Mooney hasn't even gotten on the right foot this year. Now, I also think that Darnell Mooney's probably a guy that probably won't be here next year based off the lack of production. Darnell Mooney is a waste of energy on this team at this point. And it's sad to see because last year he was really one of the most explosive aspects of this team. But this year, man, he really hasn't been much of anything. And that's really been hurting this offense. But see, this goes back to Raheem. When you decided to make I Kill Your the scapegoat after that week 3, that is where you screwed up any and all potential continuity. Raheem couldn't take that on the chin. He had to find someone to scapegoat. And he scapegoated I Kill Your. But yet you got Williams over here. And that's going to be another thing. Do y'all know that the Rams just fired their special teams coordinator? Rams are going to the playoffs. Sean McVay is maybe the best coach in the NFL right now, and he ain't scared to make a change. Even if his team's going to the playoffs, he's not scared to make a change if it's necessary. But yet you got Raheem sitting here. His team's out of the playoffs again. It's been another lost season, but yet he's still letting Marquise Williams stick around. When the special teams week after week becomes increasingly hard to watch.
And you know what? Now that I just thought about it, with Jimmy Lake over there with the Rams, and then we've got Raheem, and then you got Zach coming from the Rams. How much being predictable will we be Monday?
Oh, that's gonna be that. Hey, that's a good point. That's a really good point. And the Rams are looking to take some frustration out. And man, he knows. Listen, I guarantee you, Sean McVay knows Zach Robinson better than Zach Robinson knows himself. Same with
Exactly.
Raheem. So man, Monday, just cause we at home. If they can even keep it competitive through like 3 quarters Monday, I think it might be impressive enough. Because man, the Rams could come in here and really fuck us up on Monday.
The only advantage we got is Kirk Cousins going to be on the field.
Man, that ain't even much of an advantage. The only advantage we got, we wearing the red helmets, and it's 2000s night. That's the only advantages I think we got. I don't really.
Well, Kirk will pick up on some stuff better.
He might. But
You know what I'm saying? Like, look, they
he
know our
might.
plays that.
But don't act like Kirk Cousins is the greatest quarterback to ever see the field. Kirk
No, no,
Cousins
no,
has
no,
gotten fucked up also. He can
no.
get
I'm
fucked
talking
up in
about
this
as
game
far
too.
as I'm just talking about as far as identifying, what the defense is doing
Did he
quicker.
did he do that in the Seattle game second half?
Um,
No,
it
he
didn't.
didn't.
It didn't matter
It didn't
because the
matter
offense
exactly.
cranked up.
But see, it didn't matter.
Their offense cranked up.
Yeah, it didn't matter. And then the Rams offense will crank up Monday. And I think we can all agree that Kirk Cousins won't be back. Well, yeah, that's probably going to be the case. Now, I will say, looking at this market for quarterbacks, now if you get a new head coach in here and a new GM, I can almost guarantee you that they ain't going to want anything to do with Kirk Cousins. They ain't going to want anything to do with Kirk Cousins. But see, this is why I say we talk behind the scenes. We were talking behind the scenes, weren't we, OG? And we were saying, honestly, looking at it, what it would be ideal if Kirk could maybe work out some sort of deal and maybe we give him a little more money up front that won't go towards the cap to maybe try to keep him around for next year until Penix gets back. But man, at this point, if Raheem and Terry ain't gonna be back, you can almost guarantee Kirk Cousins won't be back.
Okay, if they don't want Kirk, then who they gonna want? That's what I'm saying, man. It's just a lot that is gonna be um,
Man, hey, you got a
in
Kirk
the
Cousins.
process.
Hey, oh, you got a Kirk Cousins jersey, don't you? You could tell us.
Oh no, no, only William Andrews, bruh. No, I did pick up a Penix. I did get a Penix jersey for the low
Oh
low.
man, you got a Penix jersey,
Yep,
man. Wow, man. Hey,
yep.
what possessed you to do that?
I went to a spot and they had a nice Penix jersey for the low low, so
Hey,
I got
hey,
it.
hey, it ain't one of them ripoff jerseys, though. It's a real jersey, right?
Yeah,
That sounds like a good deal.
but like I said, I got the William Andrews. That's I've had that for a long time.
You might
Um,
have to you might have to wear that on Monday since we're wearing the red helmets.
you know what? I think I will.
Yeah, you might have to wear that on Monday. See, Cousins will not outplay Stafford, not a chance. Yeah, I probably agree with you.
With Drake, is Drake gonna play?
Yeah, Drake will play. See, Drake's probably trying to get to 1,000 also.
But I think Drake's gonna kind of hurt us, man. I think that heel is bothering him. I think that heel is gonna bother him. But hey, man, he needs to try to get his incentives.
Hey, y'all remember to like, comment, subscribe, donate to the Cash App. If you want to tap on that link, you're more than welcome to. Um, hey, what were you telling me earlier? Actually, though, what were you telling me earlier when we were talking about this?
Um,
I think
as far as
it might have been before the live.
what about the firm?
Yeah, about the firm, man.
I was just reading, what they were about, and it was sounding like to me that they was more on the marketing side, versus the personnel. They'll talk about the personnel, but it'll be from a marketing angle. How's it going to affect um, that side of it? Which Arthur Blank is already a corporate. To me, he's corporate minded. As far as his employees, and I think we did discuss that. I think that he's a little too friendly with his players, not friendly as far as smoking and joking with them. But I'm just talking about um, he shows more loyalty to them than they do to him.
Mm, yeah.
He giving them those checks, but how many people have he gave massive checks to that we got massive play from after that?
You talk about from the players?
Yeah,
Shoot, man, probably Matt Ryan's probably the only one I can really think of.
right. So
Matt Ryan,
that part of it, I think
he
he
did
needs to
give
correct.
Julio a payday back after like his third or fourth season, and he did it. So I guess Julio, but hey, when he gave Julio that contract back when in 2019, man, he do y'all even remember that he didn't even play on that contract extension we gave him?
That's what I'm saying.
And that Julio was up under our books until only like 2 years ago did we fully pay out what Julio was owed, man.
But yeah, stuff like that. The consultants are not going to be able to correct that part of it. You know, it's kind of like just like with this is use Home Depot an example. Mr. Blank, he probably wants to have those, the people that are working his places, working at the Home Depots to be happy so that because they're interacting with the customers. Um, but that mentality with the football franchise, I think, is a little different because these guys are coming in, they're bringing in agents, attorneys, or what have you, and they're negotiating contracts. And he should never forget that. I don't care, I don't care how loyal they are. I don't care how the fans like him or whatever. He still got to remember at the end of the day, um, it's a business agreement, and they have once they signed a contract, then it's on them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do a whole lot of unless you helping me win championships. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of figuring out
Mm-mm.
um how to keep you here. If I've done what I said I was gonna do,
Oh,
and you
absolutely no.
maybe were average at most, at best.
Exactly. Maybe at best they were average.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, this thing with the coaches and all of that, it's good to get consultants to come in and give you some advice or give you some strategies or whatever. But
Home, there's someone up in the comments making saying something about Drake. I don't even know why we're playing Drake. I know he says he's good to go with the season being over. I just don't know
right,
why you would risk it. And I've kind of thought the same thing. Like that is what
right. Well, I wouldn't do it
Drake
either.
wants to play because Drake wants to inflate his numbers for his contract. And I can't blame him for doing that. He wants to get to that 1,000 yards. And like Drake was having an amazing season before he got hurt. And he already missed a Miami game too. Like Drake was having an amazing year before he got hurt, man. Like Drake was having an amazing year. But see, man, like that's a thing. Like you got to think long term. And we got everyone on this team's gotten injured this year. And see, that's why I fear they're going to be able to use the injury excuse. But I would say instead of that, where was your conditioning? That's what I would say. Where was your conditioning at?
See, I would be looking at Seals. I would be looking at Nash if he's okay. I would be looking at Blair, um, and whoever else we got that's decent wide receivers at this point. And I would just see what we got. But putting Drake out there with a he's hobbled a little bit. It makes no sense at this point. But that's
Let's
why
see.
I'm
Hold
telling
on.
you, man. It's just you got to look at it from a different angle, man. You know, right? Us will say why would we put Drake out there? But they still gonna let him play, and they're paying him. So
Hold on, man. Mercedes Benz was built in 2017. It still hasn't hosted a playoff game. That should be enough to make changes. Arthur Blank will be 84 years old when next season starts. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely with you there. I wish I could highlight this comment. Because this is what I've been screaming for like 3 years now. You got this stadium's been open nearly a decade. Next year will actually be the 10th year it's been open that we've been playing in it, and we still ain't hosted a home playoff game there. We still ain't hosted a home playoff game there. It's been open nearly 10 years. You've had every damn event in the world you can think of there, and yet the Falcons have not had a home playoff game in that stadium. With how awful this damn division is, you got the Carolina Panthers. They're getting ready to have a home playoff game in Bank of America Stadium for the first time in 10 years. But yet, man, with how awful this division has been, and granted, just 2 years ago, Carolina was essentially giving away tickets to their games. Now they're going to have a home playoff game up in there. Yet us, we've had how many points have we've had the last 2 years where if you flip a one or two games, a couple plays in those games go differently, we win the division. We've been so close, but yet so far. And that's what pisses me off, man.
It's a game of inches.
So that's what pisses me off. You ain't never had a home playoff game up in that stadium.
Yeah, that's kind of bad though. But I mean, that's what it is, and they need to work it out. We need to work. Hey, just think about the people that that that's going to still continue to go to the games next year. All of these decisions are going to affect how we look at going to these games. Because I'm going to continue to have my seats and still be a I've been called a customer, but hey, call it what you want. But I'm in the club, and I'll be there next year. If don't nothing happen. So, but it kind of it'll taste a little different with the with a whole new coaching staff and all of
Yeah,
that,
man. That
because
that's why
then
I say if they're
you're paying
smart,
for hope.
if they're smart business people, they will fire Raheem and probably even Terry too, because the only real way that you probably are going to be able to sell this team next year is to say look at what's happened up in Jacksonville. Look at what happened in Chicago. You're going to be able to sell, hey man, we got a new coach. And especially if, man, they're able to get one of the better candidates out on the market, they're going to be able to sell, hey, hypothetically, we got a Clint Kubiak. Or we got a Joe Brady. We got a Brian Flores to come up in here, man. And this is going to be it. This is going to be different. Now, see, for me, I don't care who the next coach is. And if I like the hiring initially or I don't, I'm gonna say you got to prove it to me.
Exactly
You
right.
got you got to prove it to me. You got to prove to me you got to prove to me things are different. And see, I ain't just gonna be looking at wins or losses. I'm gonna be looking at how it looks. Is the team disciplined? Are players dropping like flies? Are you making simple damn mistakes like on Sunday, man? This is you got to understand that the Falcons not only did they have a 4th and 1 that could have sealed the game, and Arizona never even sees the ball again. And Algier couldn't get 1 yard, which okay, I'll give them that. Arizona made a solid play, but you had a 4th down before that. The Falcons are trying to convert, and you got literally players running into each other. Then
Yeah,
we are the
because they
only
called up
team
a
that
they
this
called up a triple wing play. Looked like it to me.
man. We are the only team that, and it ain't the first time this season that that's happened either. Something like that. We're the only team that this shit, man. I don't even think you see teams like the Jets this happen to multiple times a season,
Yep.
and that's the problem, man. Looking at next year's schedule, I really don't see that many wins. 5, maybe 6. That's it. Yeah, especially with this coaching staff, man. With this
So what
coaching
are the
staff,
teams?
man, I'll run it. It ain't gonna be final till the end of the year.
Right.
But I want to look at it because right now there's like I think 14 of our opponents are confirmed. We got obviously the three at home: Carolina, New Orleans, Tampa Bay. We got Chicago at home, Detroit at home, Baltimore at home, Cincinnati at home. We got the a person that finishes in the same place as us in the NFC West at home, which at this point it looks like that is gonna probably be the Rams again. Then as far as and then we probably got third place in the AFC West at home, and that's going to end up being the Chiefs next year. Mahomes will probably be back by that point. Then you got on the road. Yeah, we got 9 home games next year, but they're going to ship us out overseas for one of them. So they taken one of our home games away, and that kind of pisses me off. I know that's going to probably piss you off too, but they taken one of our home games away. But see, when you can't win, this is what they fucking do to you. They'll put you on at 9:30 in the morning when they know ain't anyone gonna watch you. But see, on the road we got the 3 division opponents: Carolina, New Orleans, Tampa Bay. We got Cleveland on the road. We got to go to Green Bay on the road. We got to go to Minnesota again on the road. We got to go to Pittsburgh again on the road, and we got to go to the team that we place the same in our division as in the NFC East, in which at that point that looks like for what? The 6th straight year we're going to be facing the Washington Commanders next year. Man, we probably will, if Raheem sticks around, we're a 3 or 4 win team next year. Maybe
Shoot,
5. They might pull off.
if he leaves, we might be the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I'm saying, man. If we leave him, we might be the same thing because it all depends on who this coach is going to be, man. Like, sure, and that's honestly, man. I maybe say even if we do pull off an upset, I'm saying that's probably 5, and about 2 of those wins are going to come from the division, probably. So, man, I'm looking at it. I'm saying you got. I mean, it's a tough schedule next year. We're playing the AFC North and NFC North. Yeah, I mean, those are 2 tough divisions. The Saints beat the Jets this last week. The same Jets we lost by a field goal to. That's how bad we are. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's that's what we are at this point. We can't even beat the Jets, man. So who's the fuck to say next year we can't we'll beat Cleveland? We don't know what the fuck. We don't know what the fuck any of the. We don't know what the fuck it's going to look like next year, man. Because we don't know who the coach is going to be, GM's going to be, quarterback's going to be. But man, even if they do everything right this offseason, this is still a hell of a gauntlet that they're facing. And
That's a
man,
tough schedule to
and,
be in the position we're in.
and you facing some very good coaches next year too, most likely. You facing John Harbaugh, Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, the dude in Carolina, Canales. He's a good coach. Kellen Moore ain't done a bad job with the Saints. You probably facing Sean McVay next year. You facing Matt LaFleur next year. Kevin O'Connell, Mike Tomlin. You probably facing Andy Reid next year. Man, how out of the 17 games, how many coaches did I list? Like 10 or 11 of them?
Yep. That's what the
Mm,
consultants are there for. They said, Mr. Blankpot said, "Boy, we got a tough year. We got a tough season coming up. And these fans are going to be, hey, Mr. Blank, what you going to do?"
well, they go listen. Next year they'll make money anyway. Cause looking at all those home games, they'll just have a bunch of away fans come up in here. Man, them Chicago fans, the Detroit fans, they're all going to come up in here next year and take this place over. Chiefs fans, Baltimore fans, they gonna ransack the bins next year. Carolina fans going to come up in here next year feeling good about themselves. Hey, so like I say, this is what happens when you fuck around and you don't get it done when you have opportunities to do so. That's why I put a lot into them this year. I'm saying, okay, this is the year you got to get it done. You got guys, you got pieces. I was never too high on the coaching staff, but I'm thinking, okay, Ulbrich was a solid hire, and I kind of gave Zach a little too much of the benefit of the doubt from last year, thinking that he would improve. Man, the offense got worse. He wasn't the right coach to work with Michael Penix. There was never really an effort to work with Michael Penix. And you could tell because, man, Kirk is having to initiate every damn conversation on the sideline with any coach. He's having you got coaches over here staring, looking for eye candy in the crowd, and Kirk has to go over there and slap them upside the fucking head to even get them to lock back into the situation.
And see, that's not a good look either.
And that ain't the
Um,
that shouldn't be the place of a player. That should be the place of a coach. But this coaching staff get, especially on several pieces, man, from the head coach and a lot of the offensive coaches. See, one thing you notice about that defensive coaching staff, they're always active on the sidelines. Jeff Ulbricht's always finding someone to talk to, something to talk about. That's why you've seen improvement from the defense this year. I don't know exactly what our defense is ranked, but and I want to look it up. But I'm sure it probably doesn't really serve a lot of justice to the fact that the defense has been solid this year. It has been. We got the 14th ranked defense in the league this year, and I mean that's better than it certainly was last year, and that sounds about right. But man, listen, it's been done a lot of injustice as well. There hasn't been complimentary football. A lot of these offensive coaches, man, they ain't talking to each other. A lot of times, man, when they panned in on Michael Penix, there was maybe one time they panned in on him and he was talking to someone.
but like I said, man, that's just my whole dilemma, man. I just want them to take baby steps and maybe coming getting a consultant in at this point before like you said, we said Black Monday.
Black Monday, yeah.
Okay, I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, that's a
Hey,
they
and
got to
we
get ahead of that
and see,
because there's
man,
gonna be some other teams that are gonna pick some guys up too.
because you got to realize we finished the year at home.
Right. So yeah. So they don't. So we ain't even got to wait till the next day.
They ain't
They
gonna
got
wait around really. Man, they didn't
right.
wait around with Arthur Smith, and we played on the road the last game. They fired him 2 minutes into the next day. So they had that decision made the night of.
Yeah, but hey, but look what happened to him in New Orleans.
Yeah,
That was terrible, man. I hate he went out like that.
but this is why I say, man, this is the situation where I think it's clearly time for a new start. And it's going to be very hard for a coach to come up in here and do, I think, as bad of a job as Raheem has done. It ain't going to be hard to do a better job than Raheem. How better of a job it is, who the hell knows what it's going to be. But even with a better coaching staff, man, it's still going to probably be a rough year next year unless you can get everything to fall your way.
Yep. And I was listening to another podcast, and that's one of the things they were talking about. A lot of it's luck too. So
Yeah, a lot of it's luck. So is next year finally going to be the year that luck is on your side?
yeah, but I think luck complements what the good things that you're doing. If you're in a bad place, luck's not going to do you that
Did,
much
did you
good.
also did you also has anyone ever realized? Did you realize that next year will be the 10-year anniversary of that 2016 team?
Wow. Man, time's flying, man. It's just like walking, man. You got to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving. And
Hey,
keep moving.
we've gone 8 straight years with no playoffs,
Wow.
and you look at the teams that have ran laps around the league, done 2 3 rebuilds in that point, and they back good again, and yet we still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but there was a fact that was talked about. Um, in the last 20 years, there's only been 11 quarterbacks that won Super Bowls
Oh
in the
yeah,
NFL.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey man, it says Raheem's behavior during and after the Bucks game was unacceptable.
I
Taking
told you what that
selfies
was
with the
about.
crowd, giving one of the NFL analysts a kiss during halftime, and shouting at the camera at the end. Hey, when he went up there and he gave Whitworth that kiss, I'm thinking, hey, is this a football game? Or is this a fucking drag show?
Well, where do he know him from?
Oh, they were together over in Los Angeles. They won a Super Bowl together over there.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but see that's the type of shit he focused on, and you got everyone calling for your job, and that's what you focused on. Hey, I'll give Raheem Morris credit for one thing though. I'm kind of glad to see that shit doesn't bother him, or at least he don't let it project that it's bothering him. I don't know if it's bothering him or not. Maybe it is, because when he shouted in the camera during the end of the game, who the hell knows who he was thinking about?
I told you, man. I can name a few.
Well, hey, shoot, name him, man.
Hey, man.
We
Look,
got time, and
look, you
it's
come
we.
look.
Christmas is
You
on
come to a
Thursday.
game. You come to a game and we get blowed out, and this guy got a nerve to wear a bag over his head. Okay, in front of my boss. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on him.
You know he gonna be on Monday because he know we on national television. He gonna be looking all over. He gonna be looking at that same spot, seeing am I gonna be there or not. And I ain't revealing my card if I'm gonna be there or not in that same spot. You don't know if I
Nah,
got a
we
ticket there or not.
nah,
You
man. We
you
gonna
you
look,
just
man.
gonna have to see.
We gonna do a little bit better than that. We ain't gonna put our boys on blast on national TV like that. Nah,
Oh, he gonna be looking though. He gonna be very
he go.
nervous.
Hey, man, there you go, right there. See, when he don't see the bag, that means he's gonna keep looking.
He gonna keep
Point
looking.
the point has been made.
Where this dude at?
Yeah, he's gonna be looking when he come out the tunnel, and he's gonna be looking when he go back in the tunnel.
Man, instead of looking at a halo board, he gonna be looking in that direction.
Hey, look,
He
and
gonna
don't
be
let him.
looking to his left, right into that tunnel that he walks through at the end of the game, comes out of there in the beginning of the game.
Right.
I hope he don't show up.
And
I
look,
hope
and
he
don't
don't
let him
show
mess
up.
around and look. Don't let him mess around and win, and then he gonna be looking for your heart. He
Man,
might come
he
up
gonna
there.
climb up in the stands. Man, hey, where are you
He
at?
gonna come up in the stands. He gonna come up in the stands. Where he at?
Hey, I
Yep.
might have to get the fuck up out of there. They say that Raheem can fuck a dude up. He hits the gym hard.
Hey, man, he's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Hey, you are like I said, the statement already been made, and he's gonna be looking. Mr. Blank gonna be looking. Them cameras gonna be looking.
Oh yeah. Cause hey, that's our first home game since.
Yep.
See, I'm even feeling a little, I ain't gonna say nervous, but I'm feeling, a little. Hey man, anyone gonna be looking for me?
Oh, they'll be looking, bro.
Anyone gonna be looking for me? Hey, though, for real, y'all ever find me at a game, man? Come up, take a picture with me. It'll be all good. Even if Raheem Morris, if Raheem Morris is watching this, shout out Raheem Morris. You ever want to come take a picture of me? Go ahead and do it. I'll tell you need to get fired to your face. No matter of fact, I'll just call you boss over. Tell him yo ass ain't doing your job, taking picture of fans and shit.
Yeah, if he can kiss a man on national TV, then he can take a picture.
Yeah. This primetime game will not end the same way. Yeah, probably so, man. The Rams are pissed off. But listen, we got two more games left in this season. Two more games. But they both at home. So they definitely gonna be, and you know they don't, man. They don't want a Falcons fan with the paper bag on his head during a game versus Saints. You know that.
Nah. And look, and we might be playing for last place in the
Oh yeah, we might too.
NFC South.
Yeah, we might. Shoot,
So it's gonna be something to play for.
last place would probably make our schedule a little easier though, wouldn't it?
I would think it would.
Yeah, it would, because we wouldn't have to play the Chiefs. We'd have to play the Raiders next year.
What's the spread on that game for Monday night?
I think I saw last point, man. The Rams are like 7.5 point favorites.
Okay.
I say the Rams got to come out and make a statement. But I mean, hey, one thing about it though, one thing about it is like prime time in the bins, man. Especially recently, the past 2 years, man. We ain't done bad in prime time in our stadium, and we don't lose on Monday night.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. They are gonna be a little ill. Seattle came back and beat them,
Yeah.
but we don't have nowhere near the passing core that they got.
Oh no. Man, and they got a solid running game too.
Yes, they do. But how much do you think they're gonna try to feature Bijan Robinson? Because they definitely
Oh yeah, Bijan's
hit,
gonna be the story of the entire game for us.
and they definitely gonna key on this guy. And I'm glad Kurt is out there,
That
so he
that's
won't
probably
fall for
going.
that.
That'll probably, man. Low key, I really hate saying this. This finally might be a game that Mooney's gonna actually have some opportunities. I hate saying that because he ain't done shit all year. But this finally might be a game that he's gonna show up in at the end of the year.
But you think Kurt got the arm to take it up top though? I know he did it once, but
Kirk probably, yeah, you probably that's about as much as he's got. Maybe one deep shot in him.
that's what I was thinking. Maybe he only probably ain't got but one deep shot, one or two over 40.
Yeah, man, that's probably all he's got. 7 and 10 will not be enough to save their jobs. I hope you're right. But see, Arthur Blank gotten a little too comfortable to 7 and 10 recently. Gotten a little too comfortable.
It just seemed like we can't get away from those numbers, 7 or 8 wins, man.
That's
And
the issue.
the bad part about it is we cannot we can't do nothing at home.
And man, we coming up on a decade of this. We've only had man, if we finish with like 7 or 8 wins this year, there'll only be one season that we haven't finished with one of those 2 wins amounts. It was that one season we finished with 4 wins. You notice that every single season we finish with about 7 or 8 wins. That's the fucking problem.
And it's like we get lost. It's like the coaching staffs get lost. They don't slow. It's like, wait a minute, we got to stop. Let's just stop. We lost 2 games. We lost them bad. We played bad. Let's just stop and reset.
Yeah.
It just seemed like the snowball just rolls and rolls and rolls, and it just gets so big and it's consuming everything around it. even down to the special teams. You look up, man, like Seattle did. They came out of the second half. I knew they was gonna go ahead and put something on us. Shot Rashid just run it back. I was like, oh my God. First play. I already know where this is going. And then we like to screwed it up Sunday.
Oh yeah,
If the defense really been saving us a lot, man.
man. You look at the 6 games we won this year. A lot of these games that we won have been because of Bijan Robinson. We had the one game that, in even that Tampa game, man, Bijan still kept a lot of things going for Pitts to have those opportunities. You had the one Pitts game, but like you look at these wins this year, man. The Minnesota game, that was won by the defense, but Bijan did his thing on the ground. Washington, man, that was really won by Bijan, and some of the guys got featured in that. Penix had an all right game there, but that was won by Bijan. Uh, the Buffalo game, Bijan and the defense. The Saints game, really the defense won us that game too, man. New Orleans really shot themselves in the foot right there. Tampa game, Pitts won us. This game last Sunday was Bijan and the defense that won it. That's about like 4 or 5 of them games. Bijan and the defense won us. We don't got more. Notice if the Falcons are going to win a game, it has to go a certain way for them to win. The Falcons can't win a game, in multiple ways. You got to rely on like 1 or 2 players to carry us to victory.
That's true. We lose more ways than we do winning.
Oh yeah. We listen. The Falcons invent a new way to lose every week. But man, as far as winning these games, they can only win these 1 or 2 ways. That's why we only got 6 wins this year. We don't know how to win in more than 1 or 2 ways.
Yeah, because I think some of those games just got away from us before we even got in them. That
Shoot.
Jets game, that Jets game got away from us before we even got in it
Nah,
because
no, 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 not even that game. Really, I mean, we had a chance to win that game. We just
I'm
couldn't.
just talking about the just the snowball effect.
Nah, man.
You
I
know,
mean,
just
look, that Jets game, man. We had a chance to win it. Our defense couldn't make a stop there, but man, our defense hasn't been helped out much all year. At some point or another, man, they gonna break. Like that's the thing. Our defense gonna break. You want to look at a game that it was over from the start. That Miami game. And that was a game that kind of told us everything about what this season was going to end up being. Because before that game, man, we had the win versus Buffalo, we had the big game versus San Fran, and even though we lost to the 49ers, it was easy to look at it and go, well, San Francisco's still a very good team. So okay, we just come back, we bounce back versus Miami, and then we'll move on after that. It was easy to go and look at it that way. But then when we went out and we lost to Miami, and we never stood a chance in the Miami game. Let's be very clear about that. That Dolphins game was over from the get-go. We never stood a chance in that game. So man, when we lost that game, that's what really kind of revealed everything of what this season would be to us. When will Arthur Blank get off his rocker and do something about this? The mediocrity is getting old. Well, sounds like he finally might be doing something. Oh, he's put his little consultant firm to work. So they gonna do something for him.
I don't I kind of don't like that, but I guess everybody got their own methods.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like with 10 years, not over 8 wins. Some of it's a no brainer. You're either gonna stick with what you got, make some changes, or you just say, man, it's time to just do a renovation. so to speak.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it just depends on where he is. But if he's paying somebody to tell him something that he kind of uh, know that he needs to do, um, he's still not going to be sure. He's still going to be second guessing himself.
Yeah, you're right.
Because if I was gonna, if I'm gonna, if I'm gonna get rid of the head coach and key parts of the staff and possibly change some of my management, I'm gonna be having some people coming in to give me some candidates. Find out who's probably gonna leave. So who's gonna be available. Can we reach out to who can we reach out to? That's what I would be focusing my energy on because at this point we're not going to the playoffs. Um, we're in third place. Um, whether we beat the Rams or not, man, shouldn't at this point shouldn't even make any difference if his mind is already made up.
Mm.
But yep, that's just me. That's just how I see it. Um,
Hey, listen, I've said it. I've been waiting for them to give me a Christmas. I've been waiting for them to give me a playoff appearance in division title as a Christmas gift for years at this point. I ain't gonna get it this year. Second best thing they can give me is getting everyone the fuck up out of here.
yeah, so we're kind of just something else to talk about. Oh, they got a consulting team coming in to talk to them about what should we do with the team. Okay,
Yeah.
with a losing team, losing staff. Um, what we gonna do with Terry? What we gonna do with Zach? What are we gonna do if we get a head coach and they don't want? Hey man, I don't want none of them guys. Well, if I interview somebody, I would tell them for head coach position, we're not getting rid of the defensive coach now. So if you're not good with that, then we'll just end this interview,
Well.
and
So
we
hold
appreciate the
on, man.
time.
Hold on, man. You kind of see that's what makes it difficult because Ulbricht's done a great job, but man,
Right.
you're not you. That's what makes it so tough, man. You can't just if you do that type of stuff, you're automatically fucking yourself out of the best candidates. And you at that point, man, you might as well just make Jeff Ulbrich the head coach and see where the fuck it goes. Like I hate saying
Or
that. I would love to keep Ulbrich here, but I mean, you can of course say that we have a guy who we felt did a pretty good job with the D. This is how you can sell it. We have a guy who we felt did a pretty good job with the defense. So especially if you have an offense, see that's why I say the problem with the Falcons is the offense. So they're going to go with an offensive coach, as they should. But at the end of the day, what they're probably going to end up saying to them is, look, you're an offensive coach. You're coming in here. You're fixing, a problem
the
that's,
offense.
a big problem. Yeah, the offense. Your job is to fix the offense. We have a guy who's already here. Now, Ulbricht's going to have other opportunities, man. That's going to be the thing. He's going to have opportunities. He could probably be able to go get a defensive coordinator job where he wanted to, based on what he's done this year. Because everyone's looking at it, man, the Falcons, they haven't had a pass rush in nearly, man, in as far as back as I can remember. And they finally got one this year with this dude. Yeah, we're definitely going to give him an interview. But so you probably going to have to still sweeten something out with Ulbrich as it is. But you could say to that head coach candidate, listen, we got a guy here who did a solid job with the defense. So you don't even really got to worry about that if you don't want to. You can just come in here, work on the offense, and we'll let you do your thing. Now, if they want it, now listen, if they want to bring their own people in, then that's where you start doing research on these people and okay, how familiar is it to what Jeff Ulbrich likes to do?
Then we're right back where we were.
But hold
in
on,
my opinion.
hold on. But what if they run a similar defense to what Jeff Ulbrich runs?
It's not the same though.
I
You know what I'm
understand.
saying?
I understand that. But man, this is what this the situation you in now because Raheem fucked this team over.
Well, who hired Ulbrich? Who got Ulbrich to the Falcons?
Man, I really do. I think it was Raheem had a connection. I think that was definitely a Raheem and Terry thing, and I think Raheem probably put in the phone call and really organized it. Because
Hey
man, you
man,
get
just
listen. I tell you, there's this guy who reports and said that the decision to fire Jimmy Lake came down to Raheem. Raheem was the one who decided to fire Jimmy Lake.
okay.
And so that means Raheem was the one who ended up ultimately bringing Ulbrich in.
Well, let me ask you a hypothetical question. Who do you think that Raheem could go out here and offensive coordinator that would come to the Falcons if Raheem is retained? Who could he get that would save his job? That he would have a good argument about if he said, if you let me stay, this offensive coordinator said he'll come here, or this offensive guy said he'll come.
Man, there's probably one maybe if he gets fired. One guy who potentially he could probably sell. Well, there's a couple, but there's one in particular that I'm thinking about. That's Kevin
Hmm.
Stefanski. But man, you understand that Kevin Stefanski is still employed by another team and they may keep him. So to honestly answer your question, they ain't really a damn person that Raheem can sell.
As an offensive coordinator.
They ain't a damn person. That you know's gonna be out there, they ain't a damn person.
Now I'm gonna tell you who I would be upset is if not upset, but I wouldn't like it if they kept Raheem and Zach. Now that would kind of get next to me on that.
Well, I was thinking, man, actually, this is before all this consultant stuff came out, that if Raheem wins one more game, he probably saves his job. But if they find a way to upset the Rams and the offense has a really good day, I wouldn't be shocked if we went out and we have good offensive days against the Rams and Saints, largely mistake free, we look good. If maybe Zach is able to keep his job as well.
That's
Now,
the part I wouldn't like.
it sounds like they are actually, at least from what they're saying, I don't know if it's genuine or not, that they're considering a change. I don't know how genuine it is or not, but they're considering a change.
And I'm pretty sure it's a nice hefty fee.
Oh, yeah.
So they're doing more than considering.
Oh, they definitely are, yeah.
Because a lot of it is just I think they're just trying to get confirmation on some things that they're thinking about. They're just gonna get some confirmation from these people that are supposed to be these experts in this field. So
Yeah.
the only thing we can do, man, is hope for the best Monday and um, just keep waiting for the reports.
Shoot, hey, that's all we can do. Before that, we got, hey, what you doing for Christmas, man? Christmas, you doing anything tomorrow?
Nah, man, you know what, man, I'm probably not a real good Christmas guy.
Mm,
I just take care of the grandkids and the great grands.
you
Um,
you ain't. Oh, you a great granddad.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
man.
all right.
Yeah,
Hey, that's
and
a you gon' you
make sure
gon'
that.
you gon' go to anyone? You gonna have dinner or anything on Christmas?
Yeah, I got a little tradition, man. I go to a particular family up here because all my people are in Georgia.
Yeah.
Um, so I just go there. It's been a tradition for for a long time, and just go there and sit around, watch football, and eat, and I come on back home.
Hey, that's all. Hey, that's why I say, man. Like they ain't things really kind of. It feel things have really kind of died down in recent years, especially, man. Like it ain't things ain't as big as it used to be back in the day. But yeah, that's just how it's gonna be, man. It's just going. I'm gonna just hang out with some family and loved ones on Thursday and watch some football and obviously do Christmas and food and all that. And I mean that's really what it is. But I really say, man, after Christmas, for me at least, like it's a few days after Christmas. It's kind of like that winding down period. It's a little depressing when you get all up in the holiday spirit, and then you got to get out of it all so suddenly after. Really, you got until New Year's to be in the holiday spirit, because that's kind of like the big thing. But then like after the New Year, man, like they tell you got to have a New Year's resolution, which I don't have a New Year's resolution, but the Falcons better not make me get one. The Falcons better take care of their own New Year's resolution.
Wow.
Before I got to make some new ones up of my own. Don't make me act a fool in 2026. And don't bring that bullshit into next year.
Wait, they got one more game
Oh yeah,
in
they
2026.
do
So
got a game in 2026 before this season ends. Yeah.
right. So
But hey, that's just leak over essentially. You leak that over, you clean it up, and you start all over.
yep, just a reset.
I think they are doing more than considering at this point. A decision is close to being made. You think a decision? See, that's one of the things I was thinking about. Do you think that I personally think that man they have an idea of what they gonna do going into that last game? Do you think a decision is close to being made?
Man, when you go and get in a consultant group, they're supposed to it's just for that, just to doing that assessment. Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
so
But
so
I'm wondering how they gonna go. I
so
hope they come in and look and they say, hey man, that old bald head dude down there on the end, man, y'all need to get rid of him too. Shoot.
Hey, but you think that now with them bringing in this consultant group, you think Raheem really might be up out of here?
Somebody is. There's definitely gonna be some changes made. They're not just gonna spend this money just to get some advice.
Well, I mean,
That they're
shoot,
not
hey,
gonna
it's
that they're
Arthur
not
Blank.
gonna
Listen,
go with.
it's Arthur Blank's money, and Arthur Blank's a billionaire. That this money he's spending, man, I guarantee you, he makes it back within a week. But I would like to think Arthur Blank, even because he's a billionaire, he ain't gonna waste his money just to put on a show. So yeah, it feels like they're moving differently. That's what I was saying. But what's actually going to result from it? Because
But see,
see,
the
as
bad thing
long
about that,
as
if he's doing that, that's gonna be kind of. I'm gonna be a little bit looking side eyed.
see, man, as
If
long as Rich McKay is here, and I hope that's what they tell him. As long as Rich McKay is here, nothing is going to change. It don't matter how much you lie to the fans and say he's not involved. People can tell he's involved.
oh yeah, he's definitely involved,
You
and you
and
got to
at this
respect
point,
that.
Arthur Blank needs a Rich McKay detox. That's what needs to happen. The Atlanta Falcons and Arthur Blank need to detox from the cancer that is known as Rich McKay. Man, this dude looks like a cancer. He looks like a big ass cancer cell growing on this organization more and more.
That would be kind of crazy. He's spending that kind of money for a decoy and a tax write off. That'll be wild.
I wouldn't put it past him. Cause listen, Arthur Blank, I'm telling y'all don't think. I'm telling y'all, this dude's more of a every billionaire is a con man. Let's be clear about that. This dude's more of a con man than y'all think.
Because he didn't get to be a billionaire being nice
Oh no.
and honest to everybody.
Mm-mm.
So, and I hear people talk about, Mr. Blank being a billionaire, and I even seen a short where a guy says, Mr. Blank don't need your money. And I was like, this guy obviously don't even have a bank account or
Mm-mm.
something. This guy don't know anything about um, gathering money.
Them folks.
Because I'm like,
Those are the
how you gonna
folks that
tell?
they can't tell anyone how to be fans because they ain't ever won the games, man.
But I'm like, how in the world are you gonna say that? And this guy got with some people and they built a 60+ thousand seat building to showcase his club. But yet he don't need our money. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, what? Why? What was man? I'm gonna ask the question. What was really wrong with the Georgia Dome? That's what
I
I'm gonna.
liked it myself.
What was wrong with the Georgia Dome? Why? Why? I mean, man, I even saw a video a couple of years back, right around when the bins opened, saying they had the option. We could have simply just put like $400 million into renovations in the Georgia Dome. The only real issue with the Georgia Dome was that the roof was not that reliable. The roof could easily be ripped through, but that was really the only major issue. I mean, you had a home field advantage there.
I was there for that game against Green Bay. I was there for the Seattle game in the playoffs and the Green Bay game. And
Yeah,
that place was hey look, we might have cracked the foundation that last game.
shoot,
That
yeah.
place was shaking, bro. That place was definitely shaking.
Everyone saw it on TV, man. What was,
Yep.
but I mean, that's why I say, what was wrong with the Georgia Dome? So you gonna build the Benz? And look, yeah, the Benz is nice. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's got the Halo board. That's clearly very attractive. It's a nice stadium. But my point is, you built this stadium to, at the end of the day, they built that stadium and they've gotten a lot of what they wanted out of it. They going to have the super. They've already had the Super Bowl there. They're going to have another one there in a couple years, 2 years I think. They've had national championships, SEC championships, concerts, all that good stuff. But out of all those things, man, I want to ask you a question as a season ticket holder and a PSL holder. You there?
Yeah.
What is the biggest game that the Atlanta Falcons have played in Mercedes Benz Stadium since it opened?
Well, in my opinion,
Yeah.
the last game
What?
to get them to the Super Bowl
No,
with
no, 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 no. Since Mercedes Benz
the
Stadium
Mercedes
opened.
Benz. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about the Georgia Dome.
Yeah. What is the biggest game the Atlanta Falcons have played in the stadium that has been their home for coming up on 10 years now? What is the biggest game they have played in that stadium?
They haven't played a big game there yet, in my opinion.
That goes to show my point. What is the biggest one though you think up to this point they've played that you can say is the biggest one?
The most excited I ever been. there in the games was let me make sure that's when it was with the against the Saints when D on that was it a Monday night when Dion made that interception
Oh,
in the
that was
end
yeah,
zone.
that was the first year there. That was a
Okay,
Thursday night
that
game.
yeah, hey man, I just knew that New Orleans was going to drive and score on us, and Drew Brees threw that thing, and Debo came out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere. To me, that was one of the most enjoyable games, biggest
Oh
games
yeah.
that they played.
Oh yeah. Hey, and remember the last game of that 2017 season where we beat the Panthers to get in the playoffs?
Yeah,
That's probably the biggest game we've ever played in the Benz. But that was the first year it's open. So man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really even I. You can count that first year. I don't even count that first year really, because that first year you still had a lot of things left over from that Super Bowl season. Even if Shanahan wasn't here, you had a lot of momentum still left over from that season, and a lot of that we trying to get back there. But since then, since that 2017 season, since from the start of 2018 to right now, what is the biggest game the Falcons have played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
they haven't had it. They
What's the
haven't
mo-
had it,
what
man.
What's the most excited you've been in that stadium since the start of 2018?
Hmm. Actually, probably this Buffalo game we won.
Yeah, probably. What about the Tampa game last year?
No, not really.
You weren't excited to see Kirk go for over 500 yards?
Well, it was a shootout, but
Because that was going to be my. I would say that was the most exciting game I've ever seen in the
it
Benz.
was going to be a shootout. And Hodge the way that story unfolded so pretty. Drake got nicked up. Hodge came in and made the play. Um, yeah, it was okay, but I just didn't think we was gonna beat Buffalo.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I
I didn't either. But like, I could feel the energy around that game. This was a bit that was a good spot for us to be in.
Because it was Buffalo fans all around me.
Yeah, but I could feel the energy that it was a good spot for us to be in. And see, after we won that Buffalo game, there was a lot of excitement after that. A lot of
Yeah,
excitement because then we went to San Francisco. But then, man, after we got during that San Francisco game, it's like I said on the last stream. San Francisco gave the entire league the blueprint on how to beat the Falcons, and it wasn't hard at all. You run the ball down the defense's throat, and you force them to pass.
yep. And everybody has been following it ever since.
Yeah.
And then they knew we were not gonna go under center before Kirk came back.
Oh yeah. So they knew it'd be much easier.
So I was like, man, it's just too easy. It was way too easy.
Shoot. Well, hey man, I'm probably getting ready to end this.